What up, Clipper Nation? Welcome in. Make sure we're working here. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Welcome into Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Osland. We got Clippers and Houston Rockets tonight. No Mo Bamba, no James Harden for your Los Angeles Clippers. Fred VanVleet is out for the Houston Rockets. So, some significant guys on the bench, none bigger than James Harden being out. Clippers will also, of course, be without Terrence Mann, no Kawhi Leonard, but no James, no Mo Bamba. Chris Dunn will be available after dealing with an illness. He was questionable yesterday. We got Adam Oslin's dad in here. Yes. Why just yes? Norman Powell for 30-plus points. Norm is back. Kevin Porter Jr. is back. I feel like without James Harden, he could get the start tonight. We shall see. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Key guys out on both sides. The Houston Rockets have lost 2 in a row. The Clippers just got smacked by 28 on Wednesday right here at Intuit Dome against the surging Minnesota Timberwolves. Who else we got in here, chat? When I say chat, I mean Adam's family. That's what I just said, Alex. I had it. Hey, Alex, I had it first, all right? Rewind the tape. Dominique said, let's go, Clippers. Let's get this win tonight. Let's go. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be back. 3 days off was strange, and then we'll have 4 days off till Friday. Clippers in Denver. So a lot of time to rest up. If there's a time for James Harden to get extra rest, it would be tonight. Dealing with a right groin strain. Learned about it yesterday in practice. Still no Kawhi Leonard practicing with the team, but was doing individual workouts there. As people try to read into everything they can with the claw. I get it. I'm excited for his return too. Had a show yesterday where we went through Coach Lou at practice, talking about Kawhi, and then him talking about Kawhi Leonard with Stephen A. Smith, pushing back a little bit. It was good to see. All right. Who else we got in here? Amin. Yeah, Harden is out. Clippers still have a relatively good shot. It's just going to be interesting. First game without James Harden, guys. He hasn't missed a game yet so far. So the good news is he misses this one game, and that means he has, 8 days off between the last game he played and this one, 8 or 9 days off. This is outside the All-Star break. This is the longest stretch of the season where the Clippers actually have some time off. So they have to take advantage of it. I know James Harden had been dealing with this, and now's the time to let the right groin strain heal. And the Clippers will still get in some practices this week, so we'll keep you updated here. Talk with Lauren Rosen pregame. She'll be coming on Clippers Talk Wednesday morning. Programming note for the Adams family. Zachary says, do we think Miller starts tonight instead of Coffee for more playmaking? I think Kevin Porter Jr. is going to start in place of James Harden. That's my guess. Amin says, gotta work with what we got. Gotta work with what we got. Tanner says, KPJ, big game. Gonna need one against his former team. I'm thinking 16-plus points, 6+ assists. If the Clippers are going to win against Houston from KPJ, I got a feeling, I've been saying this since the preseason, you guys know this, that on games without James Harden, I've always thought that KPJ would get the start. We shall see. He is Harden light. So we at least know he's available. He and Norman Powell are back. 2 in, 2 out. Norm, KPJ back after they missed the game on Wednesday. Tonight, out. James Harden, Mo Bamba. We'll start your pregame show in about 10 minutes from now here. Hope everyone's doing well. It has been really strange to have so much time off. Mean said we need a big game for Norm, yeah. Like 25 plus. And he really struggled the first 2 games against the Houston Rockets. Pokemon Let's Play said go Clips go. Zachary said KPJ better be playing good D tonight if he's starting. His D has been very solid all season long. I don't know what you've been watching, but KPJ's defense has been solid. Adam Austin's dad said, so we going to see Kai Jones with Mo out? Probably. I think so. We'll see. I just assume Coach Lou's going to be going deep into the bench, and Ivica Zubac can't exactly play 48 minutes. Next game after this is Friday, guys. So, again, long stretch in the schedule for a lot of rest days with this Clippers team. Friday, they'll be in Denver. That's their first of 2 makeup games after they didn't make the knockout round in the in-season tournament. And then Monday, they'll be here taking on the Jazz. That's the second one. Mark Jagg said KPJ revenge game incoming. We shall see. I was looking at this kind of a measuring stick of where the Clippers are at because Houston took them down twice in Houston. But with James Harden out, it's hard to say that now. I still think this is a significant game tonight. Adam Oslin's dad said, hope we see Flowers tonight. I like his game. I think he's back in the G League, my guy. He's 19. And while he was explosive, he still was a little bit out of control. I mean, he said, nice to see we get some rest after this game because we deserve this. They just got 3 days off. Getting a lot of rest. And they do deserve it. Well earned. Mm-hmm. Mustard. I think Kate Newton's trying to talk to me, guys, but I can't hear her. Neither can you, so we're good. So maybe producer Katie had a party last night, chat. I think I told you guys about it yesterday. And maybe there was a bonfire outside. It was well controlled. And maybe I didn't control myself and had 3 s'mores with peanut butter. Because why would you not have peanut butter on a s'more? I don't understand. People think there's some hardline rules. But peanut butter and chocolate plus marshmallow? So Katie's bringing up this question. Do you like a classic s'more or do you like a s'more plus peanut butter? Chat. Adam's family. What up, Ray? Oh, row 4. Big time. Maddox said, will Jordan Miller get playing time in the playoffs, Adam? My God, man. It's December. Ray said, just met Eric. Oh, LOL, WTF Eric. His first time at the Dome? That's awesome. We love Eric. He did the background here that you guys can see. Hopefully I don't still owe him money. Let me check my notes here. Mm-hmm. Do you guys know who Jules Aurora is? She's performing the national anthem. Oh, Alex Webb said crunchy peanut butter. See, I had smooth Skippy. Smooth like a fresh jar of Skippy peanut butter last night with a s'more. Maddox said, let's get this win today. Do you guys think Maddox knows that James Harden's out? Fred VanVleet's out, though, for the Houston Rockets. I feel good about it. 3 days off. Norman Powell back. Kevin Porter Jr. back. My guess, the starting lineup will be Kevin Porter Jr. next to Chris Dunn, next to Norman Powell, next to Derek Jones Jr., next to Ivica Zubats. That's my starting five. I'm guessing KPJ is going to be starting. He's hard and light. Why would they not start him? He can most effectively replicate what James Harden does. I got to check over my notes here, guys. Hold on. First game of the day. We don't know. The starting lineup isn't out yet. I'm going to guess Kevin Porter Jr. You guys can guess whoever. Ray said makes sense. We need some playmaking now with added spinning. We've seen what some of these lineups have done without Kevin Porter Jr., and it's been tough without a true initiator. Would you rather go larger but less guys that can actually score, Ed? Zachary said his decision making at times this season has been suspect. Really? Hard and light, yes, but not a high basketball IQ. I am aware. I'm well aware of KPJ's game, that guy. But I still think if you're trying to find a harder replacement to play a similar style tonight, that's the guy you're going with. We shall see. I'm excited. What can this Clippers team do? How about a little more adversity? What can they do without James Harden? You know, because they haven't experienced that yet so far this season. How do I explain to a 2-year-old that her favorite player, Harden, is out? Yeah. Explain it to me like I'm 5. All right, show's starting here in a second, guys. Appreciate y'all. Also, the first night in 25 years where both the Lakers and Clippers are playing a home game at the same time. Kind of wild. Ugh. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Clippers Countdown. As your 14-10 LA Clippers are back here at Intuit Dome tonight for their first game in 3 days for their third matchup this season against the Houston Rockets, who have taken off this year and have been out of this world with their defense that is ranked second in the league, along with a plethora of young, talented offensive players like Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, and Jabari Smith Jr. that have them ready to compete this year. In a Western Conference that looks as wide open as some of the shots the Clippers were giving up in their last outing, where unfortunately on Wednesday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Clippers would lose by 28 here at the Dome, ending their 9-game home winning streak as the team just looked to have hit the wall after going through the most condensed part of their schedule, really in the league, after having played 21 games in just 36 days. Here was Coach Lou postgame on what the time off can do for his team to help them recharge. Now the Rockets will try to do the same as they've had a couple of days off to lay in wait here in Los Angeles for the Clippers and prepare for tonight's contest. Tip-off between your Los Angeles Clippers and the Houston Rockets from Intuit Dome is just about 60 minutes away. Coming up, we got Carlo Jimenez on as you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Oh, hey.
Who are you interviewing pregame?
Ty Lue.
Oh, how about that?
Ty Lue.
What's up,
Tonight-
Axie?
What's up? What's up, Adams family?
Carlo's taking credit for that, by the way, guys.
What's up, That's Small? What's up, Ray? Dude, Ray's a dedicated listener.
He's here.
What?
He says he's in row 4 of the wall, I think.
Yeah, he's coming to beat you up.
You wish, Jake.
I think.
I don't need him to do that.
Dude, shout out Ray, man.
Another show where I get threatened by Big Brother Jake Warner on the air, guys.
I never threaten. I only promise, man.
You guys
Come on.
heard.
It's not threats, guys. Look at this, man. Look at Joey. How's he come up with this stuff?
Wow, the laminated
Dude.
stat sheet.
He's him, bro. Why'd you hold that? You can't read it like that.
There's a secret
Definitely-
code in here.
No, it's definitely not.
It says the Clippers will win tonight if they.
If they
I can't see the last part. I can't make out the last part.
Yeah. Well, no one can. He's UCLA grads, they don't finish. What?
Wow.
What?
Wait, who's a UCLA grad?
He goes to UCLA.
Oh man, that's like a tougher school to get into than USC, right?
Oh. Adam
My
Osmond's
pop
dad.
says hi.
What up? Whose photo is that?
Gary Busey?
I hear you. Thanks, Ray.
The city is different. There we go, guys. First I get threatened. Now I'm calling HR. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just about 58 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. This is the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. It's Clippers Countdown. Still to come, you're going to hear from the head coach, Teron Lue. But first, join the show is your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, how we doing?
Adam, we're doing good. We're back here at home. We had a couple days off to reset, to stretch, to ice up.
Ice up, son.
Ice up, son. Ice up. But now we're back. I've iced up, and now I'm warmed up, and I'm getting ready to go for a big-time game tonight.
My heart is full. So is my tummy after we hung out with Katie Newton last night for her going away type of party. And there were some s'mores there.
Has anyone ever tried a s'more with peanut butter on it?
If not, I'm just even more of a genius, right?
And Jake, is it good?
Oh, Big
Wow.
Brother Jake Warner has to
Wow.
agree.
I
A
don't-
s'more with peanut butter is a pro tip.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel on s'mores, man.
Look,
That's my thing.
you can always improve. You can
No, I don't
always
think
make
so.
it better.
I don't
I'm
think
just
so.
saying, maybe because I had 3 of them last night around the bonfire. All right. This Clippers team wasn't exactly on fire their last outing here at Intuit Dome. They would fall 108-80 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kind of felt like a team that just hit the wall and ran out of gas, Carlo, where all those games being played in that short amount of time eventually caught up with them.
You play 21 games in 36 days. It's eventually going to catch up to your legs. And that's what happened for the Clippers against Minnesota. They just couldn't figure out a way to get it going. Felt like they got stuck in the mud early, were never able to get out of it. And Adam, I think what was so impressive, that was the first time in that entire stretch that it felt like the Clippers just didn't have gas. They didn't have enough in the tank. Despite playing all those back-to-backs, all those 3 and 4s, leading the NBA's in game played since October 29th, and yet it didn't happen. They didn't get tired until really their last game that they played against that Minnesota team. A tough one for the Clippers. Obviously, you want to beat a rival in Minnesota who's kind of near you in the standings right now. But I think for this team, just an opportunity to reset. They played well in the fourth quarter. I thought a couple guys off the bench played really well for them. Bones Highland was excellent in that game, Adam. But the Clippers now turn the page to what is really a new phase in the season after those 3 days off.
Yeah, Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets tonight, but you bring up Bones Highland there. He led them with those 18 points. And I got to say, well, at times his play was a little bit erratic. He didn't seem to be in the flow or the rhythm of the game. He hasn't played heavy minutes so far this season. He ended up with 23 minutes played against Minnesota Wednesday night, but 5 of 10 from distance. And those threes, I want to say all of them were off the bounce. Impressive showing from the shooting standpoint with Bones Highland.
He's definitely somebody, Adam, who he can create his own shot, and no one's ever doubted that. His ability to get open, to step back, to knock down 3-pointers on that step back, it's been excellent for Bones Highland. His opportunities are coming, and he's taking advantage of them with that 18-point performance. With the Clippers situation here today, maybe more opportunity for Bones Highland in this game, but Adam definitely felt like he helped that second and third unit get it going on the offensive end. It's why they scored 30 points in the fourth quarter and didn't have more than 18 in the previous 3 quarters.
A couple of the guys who are putting in some work there next to Bones Highland, Cam Christie and Trenton Flowers, their first NBA experience. They both had buckets. They both start off their NBA careers with dunks. It was fun to see, and Cam Christie knocked down a 3-pointer, was aggressive out there, was getting shots up, not afraid of the moment.
I think I took that away from both of those guys, Adam. Felt like Christie and Flowers were not timid when they had the basketball. They attacked. They were aggressive. They got downhill. They took the open shot. They looked like guys who had been playing in regular rotation minutes, not in their first ever NBA contest in their careers. So it was interesting to see them be able to get those first points. I think there's a lot of growth, really. I mean, we talked about it on the air, but that's the 6th youngest guy in the NBA in Christie, the 10th youngest guy in the NBA in Trenton Flowers. The Clippers, as Lawrence Frank joked after he drafted them, or after drafting Christie, said, look, I'm trying to get our average age down to 26. So definitely helping, doing their part in that category, but fun to see the young guys play well.
It was fun watching Trenton Flowers, that level of explosiveness, and post-game Coach Lou had some high praise for him. He compared him to Sean Marion, the Matrix. I might be calling Trenton Flowers the Matrix Reloaded if he gets more time up here with the Clippers. But what have you known about his game, what he has shown so far in the G League, and just what we observed Wednesday night?
Oh, he's a shooter in the G League. I mean, shooting over 50% coming into that Minnesota game from downtown in the G League. And then also he just has athletic ability that jumps off the page, a 40-inch vertical. This was somebody who was a top 20 recruit coming out of high school, and then he gets recruited to go play in Australia. It ends up not working out for him there. He doesn't get the minutes he wants, but he still declares for the NBA. Feels like he can make moves, goes undrafted. Now the Clippers give him an opportunity to show who he is, somebody who was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. And Trent Flowers, I think, the belief in himself, but also the joy he played with. That kind of stood out for me in that game, Adam. He was smiling. He was having fun. He was getting downhill. He was dunking. This is somebody for the Clippers who, if they can continue to grow, I mean, think about the steps that Jordan Miller took this past season in the G League under Paul Hewitt. Went from somebody who was a late second-round pick to finishing second in Rookie of the Year voting in the G League behind Oscar Cheapway, who was the National Player of the Year in college the year prior. Jordan probably felt like that wasn't a fair race, but for Trenton Flowers and Cam Christie, you see the possibility in growth if they go down to the G.
Clippers tonight a little bit shorthanded. We'll talk more about that coming up as Carlo Jimenez has his one-on-one conversation with the head coach in Toronto. It's the Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just about 52 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Man, some fans just don't want to be happy. They complain about too many games, and then they complain about too many days off, like Thomas here. It's just like, maybe the other side of that, Thomas, is they should look fresh and rejuvenated because they've had time off. If they look sluggish, it's because they ain't got James Harden, the guy who runs the show. Ray said the woman who got a pregnant Warriors fan kicked out of the wall during the game against Golden State Warriors is next to me again. Legend. She's a legend. Take no prisoners. Brock said only the Clippers can have multiple days off and return more injured. They aren't technically more injured because two guys are out, but two guys are back. Norman Powell and KPJ are back. Mo Bamba and James Harden are out. There's no planned losses here, John. Ray said, I'll tell her that her story has been blowing up. Legendary Clippers fan. Got to regulate on those opposing fans and try to get into the wall. It's not allowed, right? Ruthless. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets here at Intuit Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. Tip-off is just about 49 minutes away. Coming up, we'll go back in time and Clippers Rewind. We'll go back to 1993. But first, we're heading back over to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Coach Lou there pregame with Carlo Jimenez as we get set for the Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just 47 minutes away. Welcome back. I'm Adam Moslin. Coming up next, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Kawhi coming. Kawhi coming. Ray said, heard that Kawhi is whistling down the tunnels like Omar from The Wire. Kawhi coming. Oh, no, Kawhi coming. Have you guys heard the nickname for him? I think Jamal Christopher was the first guy I heard say it. I don't know if he came up with it, but calling Kawhi Ghost for a nickname. Teams are like, I seen a ghost when they see Kawhi out there. Alfred Şengün just casually putting in fall away jumpers right now. I don't know if you guys can really see. I feel like I need to run a marathon, Chad, after how much I ate yesterday. And I can continue today, but I'm not eating tonight. All right. Clippers Rewind coming up. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets tonight here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just 44 minutes away. I'm Adam Moslin. Coming up, we'll get your player to watch. But first, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. Over 30 years here to May 8th of 1993. The biggest movie out was Indecent Proposal with Robert Redford, Demi Moore, and Woody Harrelson. Biggest song at the time was Informer by Snow, a white rapper reggae guy that Petros Papadakis loves to reference here on AM 570 LA Sports. I think there was a remix of that song that came out recently. It was a banger. The Clippers, they were in an epic first-round series back in 93 against the Houston Rockets. Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, the Clippers would fall in 5 games, the maximum amount you could play in a first-round series back then. But this Game 5 was special. The Clippers were battling Hakeem, Kenny Smith, and a Rockets team that would go on to win back-to-back championships in upcoming years. The players on your Clippers, you heard Danny Manning in the highlights there. He had 24 and 12. Ron Harper was also on that team. Kenny Norman, Mark Jackson, Stanley Roberts was a fun team that gave the Houston Rockets all they could handle back in 1993. Clippers tonight taking on the Rockets here at Intuit Dome in 2024. Tip-off is 41 minutes away. Coming up next, we'll get your player to watch right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Informa. And a boom, boom down. What up, Jake? Any new threats? You guys want to see Big Brother Jake Warner? You hear him a lot. Don't always see him.
It's better to be heard than seen. That's what I say.
I thought with children it's supposed to be seen but not heard.
With children, yeah.
Oh, my bad. That's not. That came out wrong.
I'm low key, man. I hide out now.
Chat, I'm looking for the starting lineup here. I'm thinking KPJ is going to be the starting lineup, guys. This is my guess. La Murray thinks Amir Coffey. We shall see. Anybody else in the building tonight outside of Ray? What, just me and Jake? Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets here in Inglewood. I almost said DTLA. We're at Intuit Dome now. Welcome in. I'm Adam Osland. Old habits, hard to break. Tip-off is 39 minutes away. Coming up, we'll get to your injury report, and I'll tell you more about this Houston Rockets ball club. But first, I feel like I picked him recently, but I'm going back to the well. I'm going with Big Zoo tonight against Houston, who kind of shut him down when they were in Houston for that two-game mini-series on November 13th and the 15th. Vita Zubats had just 8 points and 6 boards the first game, just 6 points and 11 boards the second game, both losses for the Clippers. Houston did a really good job fronting him, throwing bodies his way. Felt like it gave a little bit of a blueprint to other teams and how to scheme against Ivica Zubats when the Clippers try to find him, which they will be tonight, even without James Harden, the primary ball handler getting the basketball to Ivica Zubats. Tonight, they're going to have to find somebody else to make those post-entry passes to him and just get Zoo going. Without James Harden, I think they're going to need at least 16 and 11, 16 and 12 from Ivica Zubats against this Houston Rockets team. It's really good in the paint. They're tough to attack there. Second best defense in the league for a reason. My player to watch, Big Zoo. Coming up next, more on the Houston Rockets and where they are excelling in as we prepare for this one. Here at Intuit Dome, tip-off is just 38 minutes away as the Clippers take it on the Houston Rockets. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Spice Girl, I want to. What up, that guy? I think Jordan could get in the starting lineup, but I think they want a more traditional ball handler. I think it's going to be KPJ. That's my guess, guys. Oscar says just the tip-off. Is he trying to be funny there? Spencer will be here the 16th for Kawhi's bobblehead night. That's the next game here, guys. Yeah. Yeah. 8 days from now. Oscar said, what's your favorite concession item? Non-press room food. I couldn't tell you. I haven't tried anything. You know, I try to stay away. I try to eat good when I'm here. Doesn't always happen, but I've been trying to be good. Are they resting Harden? If you're asking me if I think this was a playoff game, would James Harden be playing? Yeah, I do. I don't know that, but that's my guess. Coach Lou said it wasn't too serious. Right groin injury, and given they have 4 days off coming up, I'm going to say that that was something they took into consideration when not playing James Harden tonight. He has had a ton on his plate, and you can give him a lot of time off. Basically, 8 days off between games for him. That's pretty important. Hip to Clip says, stuck in traffic on Prairie. Get here safe, Hip to Clip. Wayne said, I didn't mean right now, but down the road this season. What was your question, Wayne? You think Jordan get in the starting lineup? Oh. Down the road this season? If enough guys are injured, who would you have them replace in the starting lineup if everyone's healthy? Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets tonight here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just 35 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. This is the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. It's Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard and back to Carlo Jimenez. But I want to tell you about these Houston Rockets. So on the season, they have the second best defense in the league, in contrast to the Clippers, who are sixth defensively. Houston's really good in that area. They've only been getting better, but they have lost their last 2 games. And when they lose, it's typically because their offense gets so bogged down. They're just 16th on the offensive end. Clippers, well, they're 23rd with their offensive rating. They have their own issues there. But this Houston Rockets team is trying to be more balanced. They're trying to improve their offense. They do have a lot of young guys on this team that are improving. Alperen Şengün, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr. They are uber talented. And I thought coming into this season, the Houston Rockets would be one of the most improved teams in the league. Ime Udoka in his second year with them. I didn't know they'd make this much of a leap. Where currently the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference standings, they rank 3rd. They are, I want to say 15-8. That is correct. They have lost 2 in a row, though. And I think that makes them all that much more dangerous tonight because they've yet to lose 3 games in a row so far this season. When you only have 8 losses, you would expect that. But they just lost their last 2 up in NorCal. They lost in San Francisco to the Golden State Warriors, and then before that in Sacramento to the Kings in games where they scored 111 points and just 93 points. The Houston Rockets are trying to get their offense a little bit more unglued. Now, the Clippers tonight, without James Harden, they're going to have their own struggles on the offensive end. We still don't have the starting lineup. I'm waiting for that to come in. My guess is they're going to go with Kevin Porter Jr., who is back and available in this ball game. Mo Bamba is also out along with James Harden, but Norman Powell is back for the Clippers. So they have 2 guys back and now 2 guys out and don't play again until Friday in Denver against the Nuggets, who they've already seen twice so far this season. Of course, the 2 games in Houston in that 2-game miniseries did not go the Clippers' way. In those 2 games, there were some disturbing trends. I thought the Clippers were going to perform much better in the second game after losing the first game 111-103, where it really wasn't that close. The Clippers backups, if you remember, made a big push down the stretch in that ball game. Bones Highland and crew got into it, made their presence felt. Terrence Mann, that was his first game coming off the bench. He was really good. They made a little bit of a run that first game in Houston. But the second game, they got blown out 125-104. That was an in-season tournament game on a Friday night. So 0-2 so far against the Houston Rockets. And the Clippers got beat up on the boards, but also Houston uncharacteristically shot much better from 3 against the Clippers, and they shot better than the Clippers did in those 2 games. The Houston Rockets on the season only shoot about 33% from distance, but in those 2 games combined, they shot about just over 40% from 3. They were hot. That last game against the Clippers, they went 19 of 44 from the outside. Now, sometimes if a team is that hot, they're taking that many shots from the outside. There's not a lot you can do, but I didn't feel like the Clippers' defense was connected well enough. Tonight, they have to be better. You got to make Houston get off to a slower start, at least from distance, and just match their physicality, because the Houston Rockets, young, athletic, explosive, the Rockets are, with all the young talent they have, and the Clippers have to find a way to match their energy. I didn't feel like they did that the first two games so far this season, where Norman Powell, who is back again tonight for the Clippers. So Norman Powell in both of those games really struggled. In game two, he had just 8 points in Houston. And this was after Norman Powell had been on a heater. Even in the game they lost right before heading to Houston, he had 31 against OKC. But he had 13 points in game one against Houston in the two-game mini series, and then 8 points in game two against Houston in that 125-104 loss I was talking about. They did a great job, the Houston Rockets, of slowing him down, getting into his airspace, not letting Norman Powell go right, not letting Norman Powell walk into three-pointers. Norman Powell kind of got a culture shock from this Houston Rockets defense that's ranked second on the season going up against them, and they have a lot of guys that can guard him. That's concerning. On a night like tonight, they're going to need Norman Powell even more because they already don't have James Harden. He's got to go for 25 plus and be efficient out there. He's going to be, if not their primary scoring option, their second. And I think he'll likely be their number one option on the offensive end. But Ivica Zubac's also struggled against Houston in those first two games. That's why he's been a player to watch. Big Zoo could not get it going, as Houston was stopping him from getting the basketball, stopping the Clippers from making those post-entry passes to Ivica Zubac. He's got to be a little bit more forceful with stealing his man and also just play to his size. Big Zoo sometimes does not play a physical brand of basketball for a guy at that position that you'd like to see. The Houston Rockets took him out of his game, those two ball games in Houston. This Clippers team, they just have to be much better than what they've shown against the Rockets so far this season. And I do think there's some areas they can improve. Like, this is a great opportunity to show, okay, first of all, you don't have James Harden tonight. Other guys have to step up. Jordan Miller could be a big night for him. More is going to be asked. I'm guessing Kevin Porter Jr., if he's not in the starting lineup, he'll still be asked to do more tonight for this Clippers team. There's going to be guys that have a green light tonight that haven't in the past. But this team's always been great when their back is against the wall, but this is a new test for them this season. It's their first game without James Harden, guys. They are starting Kevin Porter Jr. in place of James Harden, along with Chris Dunn, Norman Powell, Derek Jones Jr., and Ivica Zubac. The starting lineup, I guess, right here on Clippers Talk. It's the first time KPJ is starting a ball game since April of 2023 when he was with the Houston Rockets, now going up against them. Well, I like the move. Just saw that from La Murray of The Athletic. I told you I thought that's what Coach Lue would go with, Kevin Porter Jr. in the starting lineup. He's kind of James Harden light. He can bring a little bit of continuity to the starting lineup because he plays in a similar fashion. He's not a top 75 player of all time like James Harden, but a similar fashion to James with his playmaking, with his ISO ball out there, with him being a left-hander. So I do think it makes a lot of sense to start him in this game. First game back after he's missed the last few. The last game he played in was, I believe, the game in Minnesota that they lost by 93-92, where he rolled his left ankle and turned the ball over. It was a tough turnover late in the ball game. That's the last time we saw KPJ. So this is a really big opportunity for him, guys. Kevin Porter Jr. I may shift to making him my player to watch, but I'm going to stick with Big Zoo, I suppose. We'll see what Carlo Jimenez has coming up. But obviously much more expected out of him tonight. He's got to perform in this spot. If he doesn't play well tonight, and by well, I mean an efficient 15 points, getting 6+ assists for the Clippers, setting the table, but striking that balance of knowing when to go out there and score and look for a shot because he can't create for himself, but also knowing how to get the others involved and how to get Big Zoo the basketball. He's going to need it. They're going to need to play some bully ball out there. Not easy against this Houston Rockets team, but it's all going to start with Kevin Porter Jr. He's got to facilitate out there now in the starting lineup. He's got to get Norm his touches. He's got to make sure if he's driving, the paint's clogged up, to kick it out to Derek Jones Jr., who's been really good, especially on corner threes so far this season. So we got the news. KPJ is in the starting lineup for the Clippers. They're taking on the Houston Rockets here at Intuit Dome tonight. Coming up next, we will get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard. I'm Adam Osland, as you're just 27 minutes away from tip-off right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Schnikes. I'll get it in. Thanks, Katie. No, I didn't. I'll get it in. No, yeah, I totally missed it. Adarius says Norman 44 points tonight. That guy Spencer says Zoo's got to be a bully like Shaq and use his size. Zoo can easily back down and get a shot or force teams to foul you. Zoo has to be reminded there's barely any bigs that can contain him. The problem is that guy Spencer, they throw double teams at him. It's not one-on-one defense against Ivica Zubats. They front him to stop him from getting the basketball. Like, defenses are way more complicated since you can play zone. Zoo gets triple teamed at times. Houston did an awesome job the first two games just throwing bodies his way, and the Clippers were having trouble getting him the basketball, especially in his sweet spots on the left or right block. The game has changed. Let's see what other games are going on here. And the Magic lost Franz Wagner after Banchero was already out, and they still lead the Suns by 2 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Amazing. So I'm saying, guys, Clippers can step up and find a way tonight. Any word on PJ Tucker? Yeah, he's still away from the team. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just about 23 minutes away. I'm at Moslin. Coming up, we'll get back to Carlo Jimenez. But first, let's get you a drive around the league, brought to you by Toyota's electrified lineup, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, all electrics, and even fuel cell electric vehicles. So you can choose exactly the type you need for your lifestyle. We make it easy. Earlier today, Joel Embiid returned and brought the Philadelphia 76ers a 108-100 victory in Chicago over the Bulls. They won by 8. Joel Embiid went 13 of 28 from the field with 31 points, 12 boards, and 6 turnovers, with 4 assists as well. Tyrese Maxey had 25 in the win. Paul George just 12 points, 6 of 13 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3 in Philadelphia's victory in Chicago. A couple other in the book. Okay, so the Denver Nuggets bounced back in a big way after losing a game where Nikola Jokic dropped 50-plus in Washington to the Wizards. They would win 141-111 in Atlanta. My goodness, Jokic had 48, 14, and 8 assists. He's going for his 4th regular season MVP right now. Atlanta's good. They've been playing much better basketball. In fact, I think they won 6 straight after they won that overtime game against the Lakers. So that's a big-time victory for the Denver Nuggets on the road. In Miami, the Heat would take down the Cleveland Cavaliers, give them just, their 4th loss of the season. Heat would win 122-133 over the Cavs at home. Tyler Hero with 34, 6, and 7 assists in the win. The Charlotte Hornets got a victory in Indiana over the Pacers, 113-109. Brandon Miller, second-year player now, with 26 points in the win. TJ McConnell had 30 in the loss for the Pacers. The Bucks improved with a 118-113 victory in Brooklyn. Giannis Antetokounmpo with 34, 11, and 3 blocks. Dennis Schroeder with 34 and 11 assists in defeat. And a couple of games going on right now. Late in Orlando, Magic now without not just Paolo Banchero, but without Franz Wagner, who's going to be out for some time. The Magic are up by 5. 105-100 is your score over the Suns with 4:38 left in the fourth quarter. Magic leading by 5 at home late. Midway through the third quarter in Washington, the Grizzlies are all over the Wizards. They're up 91-66. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. has got 21 and 4 blocks. Jonas Valanciunas, who's probably going to get traded at some point when things open up around December 15th, he's got 20 and 14, but Grizzlies up 91-66 on the Wizards. And last one for you, Pelicans down to the Spurs by a score of 84-36. Midway through the third quarter, Victor Wembanyama with 18, 7, and 3 blocks for Slender Man as the Spurs lead by 8 midway through the third. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets. Tip-off just 21 minutes away. Coming up next, back to Carlo Jimenez right here on your Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Guys, there's no word on PJ Tucker. You know what the word is? On December 15th, when you can trade for more guys, when more contracts become tradable, just like I was saying with Jonas Valanciunas, I would imagine that's the best opportunity. But we'll see. Gotti 1515 said Clippers all day. Daniel said, I noticed PJ doesn't follow any Clippers on social media. Is that true? Daniel saying, I'm hoping we don't get blown out early. Me too. Hoping they don't get blown out late either. Big Brother Jake feels confident about tonight's game. Does he have a score or just no score? Just he's confident about the Clippers tonight. All right, that's fair. That's fair. That's all I asked. Big Bro's had some calls. KPJ in the starting lineup, as expected. Not for everyone, but as I expected. Carlo Jimenez coming at some point here in this segment. You texting him? It's whatever. We got plenty of time. Daniel said, isn't PJ's contract valuable because it's expiring? It could be looked at that way, but you're still not going to get a ton back. It's an $11 million expiring contract. And there's this guy. And there's this guy right here. Getting his tea and crumpets. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets. Tip-off here at Intuit Dome was just 19 minutes away. You're back in on Clippers Countdown. I'm Adam Oslin. Still to come. We'll get your keys to victory, but first, back over to Carlo Jimenez. It's a bit of a danger zone-like game for the Clippers. After Houston lost their last 2, they've yet to lose 3 in a row so far this season, Carlo. How'd they drop their last 2 ball games?
I mean, this is a Houston offense, Adam, that has kind of just stalled out the last couple of games. Only 93 points against the Golden State Warriors. They weren't able to get things going from outside the arc. And a team that has been shooting the 3 ball pretty well, especially against the Clippers in those 2 games. They're able to knock down the 3, but then struggled mightily against that Golden State team. I think, Adam, there's also something to Houston is no longer – I think when the Clippers went to Houston in mid-November, it was like, okay, what kind of Houston team is this? But now – the book is out. This is one of the top teams in the Western Conference, and there's a lot more seriousness with the way teams approach the Houston Rockets. Not saying they don't approach every team seriously, but you know that some games teams get up for more than they get up for other games, and the Rockets are now one of those teams that teams are getting up for a little bit more because of the way they play on both ends of the floor. So for this Clippers team, it feels like an opportunity where you got a team on the other end that has been here in LA for 2 nights. They're hungry to get that bad taste out of their mouth. The Clippers really arriving at the wrong time or at the right time. Maybe an opportunity to hand Houston their 3rd straight loss.
Houston Rockets playing much better basketball, as you outlined there. 2nd best defense in the league, and they made life tough on the Clippers, especially Norman Powell in those first 2 meetings in Houston. about 3 weeks ago here, Carlo, where they just have a lot of defenders you can throw at guys. And their ball pressure, Coach Lou spoke about this at practice yesterday, is very tough to overcome, where they just kind of get into your airspace a little bit.
Yeah, they want you to feel them on every single possession. They are aggressive. They're going to be on their shorts. They're going to be putting an arm bar on the side of the chest. They are going to be the team that you walk away from with a couple extra bruises that maybe you didn't have in a regular game. The Rockets, though, Adam, tonight, without one of their best defenders, maybe their best defender, leads the NBA in defensive rating. Tari Eason will not be playing today. How does that change things for this Rocket team? You no longer have that Terror twin matchup with Amen Thompson and Eason coming off the bench. Those two guys change the dynamics for this Houston team. So I'm interested to see how their defense adjusts to that. But it's really a mindset. And Ime Udoka has not allowed anybody to come into this program that won't play defense and hard. And this is what this team has been forced to do because of Udoka, who's done a fantastic job coaching this season for the Rockets.
He's got them pointed in the right direction once again as the Clippers take the court here at Intuit Dome. Little Kendrick Lamar in the background here. Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets. Tip-off is just about 16 minutes away.
Woo!
Squabble up. My player to watch. Going with Big Zoo once again, only because in the first two meetings against the Houston Rockets, Carlo, he really struggled to even receive the basketball with a lot of those double teams that were coming his way, at times triple teams. They were fronting Ivica Zubats. We've seen that carry over with some other squads. It almost felt like in those two games against the Houston Rockets, they gave out a bit of a blueprint on how to stop Big Zoo. He's got to find a way to counter.
Yeah, and eventually, especially with what Ty Lue told us pregame, how they're guarding the three-point line so aggressively that sometimes it opens up the paint for other teams. So can the Clippers really force the issue inside the painted area, make Houston pay for playing such high-pressure basketball out towards the three-point line? That's going to be interesting as well. And Adam, for me, I think this is a Clippers starting lineup tonight that hasn't played together much at all this season. So for the Rockets, their whole defensive scheme, I'd imagine, kind of goes out the window with no James Harden, because James Harden is the centerpiece in this Clipper offense. How do they adjust with a different style of attack from this Clipper group? I'm going to be interested to see that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Kevin Porter Jr. adjusts. He's in the starting lineup tonight. Saw that from Law Murray. I thought that was a direction they could end up going, just because in some ways he is Harden light with his isolation play, with his playmaking out there. He's a lefty as well. It makes a lot of sense to give him this big opportunity, but he hasn't played the last couple of games. Last time we saw him was in Minnesota, where he turned his ankle late on a turnover and a 1-point loss to the Timberwolves. This is a really big spot and a big opportunity here for Kevin Porter Jr.
It's going to be his first time starting since he was in a Houston jersey a couple of years ago for this Rockets team. But you mentioned it, Adam. It felt like he was playing some of his best basketball going into that Minnesota game. Had a season-high 17 points in that contest and finished with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. I think for this Clipper team, can Kevin Porter Jr. be aggressive but also keep the rock moving? And he's got a chance for a little bit of revenge. I mean, you won't forget the first time the Clippers were in Houston, Jalen Green attacked Kevin Porter Jr. He went at him on the defensive end. Can KPJ now have an opportunity to get some licks back on the offensive end for him? And then I'm looking at Jordan Miller off the bench for this Clipper team. He's my player of the game. I feel like Jordan Miller has to be aggressive. The Clippers are going to need 20 points off the bench. We'll see if Miller can be a big part of that.
Did you just reveal your player to watch? You know I got Big Zoo tonight. Who you going with, Carlo?
Yeah, that's what you said, Big Zoo. That's what I'm going with.
What, you're going with Big Zoo too?
No, Jordan Miller.
Oh, Jordan Miller. Okay, you're going with Jordan Miller.
No. Oh, my goodness.
Look, I'm a little bit confused here, okay?
No, J Mill.
I had a late night and I had a few s'mores. One too many.
Guys, Adam is sugar hungover. By the way, try peanut butter with s'mores. Let us know how it is. Jake said it's good. Jake said it's good. I didn't want to try it. I won't lie. I don't want to try it. I'm a little stubborn in my ways.
Let's talk some more about these Clippers here tonight, because we get Norman Powell back. And obviously he played recently, but didn't play the second night of a back-to-back. But he has looked like himself. I mentioned earlier about how the Houston Rockets were very good against him, but Norman Powell has turned into a player in this league where you just expect him now to play at a high level each and every night. He's setting a new standard for himself. I want to see him beat the allegations that the Houston Rockets can slow him down.
Yeah, I agree with you, because Norman Powell, Adam, he's been so aggressive this season and effective. he's now getting to pick which basketball the Clippers play with. He was just talking to Jenna Schroeder down on the floor. Norm has risen to that point. He's no longer six man. He's picking the ball that the team is playing with. Of players who've shot 100 threes this year, Norman Powell is first in the NBA in three-point percentage. Adam, we talked about it 10 games in. Well, how long can Norman Powell shoot 50% from three? Well, we're sitting in mid-December, and he's still shooting 50% from three. 51% on the year for Norman Powell. Feels like not only does Norm step up in these opportunities, he's known to play well when the Clippers have called him into the starting lineup, but also knowing the offense runs through him tonight. He is number one on this offensive end. Can he be aggressive? I'm sure Dylan the Villain will be all over him defensively. That's going to be a fun matchup tonight.
Another guy in the starting lineup for the Clippers who I feel like has exceeded expectations, especially from distance, would be Derek Jones Jr. He's about shooting 42% from the outside so far.
Yeah.
And his offense has slowly been going up. He's getting a little bit more involved offensively. They're going to need him tonight without James Harden on that end, too.
They are going to need him in a big way. Last two games, Derrick Jones Jr. averaging 15 points a contest. He's been shooting 40% from three. He's knocked down 4 of his 10 attempts, but he just looks comfortable on the offensive end. A lot of his threes, though, Adam, do come from pick and rolls where teams are daring Derrick to shoot the three ball. They haven't caught on to the fact that he's a 40% three-point shooter this year. So without that pick and roll with Harden and Ivica Zubac, how does he get his shots on the offensive end? He's probably going to have to do a little bit more creating on his own, get downhill, get to the rim. And so we'll see if that opens up his game. There's a lot of guys tonight who are going to have to play a different style of basketball than they had played in the previous 24 games just because of the usage rate and the way everything offensively starts and stops with James Harden.
How do you think the Clippers are going to look when you talk about that rest versus rust with 3 days off? Are they going to look fresh out there, or could they come out a little bit sluggish, as some people are worried about here in the chat?
You know, I think if it wasn't the Houston Rockets on the other end, maybe there would be a little concern for the sluggishness. But this is clearly a team, Adam, and the way they talked about it at practice yesterday after the games in Houston, they felt like they got embarrassed in Houston. As Derek Jones Jr. said, we didn't play hard. As Amir Coffey said, we didn't rebound the basketball. They have something to prove against this Rocket team that really dominated them in that 2-game series. Neither game very close when they went over to the Toyota Center in Houston. So can the Clippers prove that they're not just going to roll over once again against this Houston team? I think there's pride in play here, and that's why I think they're going to come out to a hot start.
I'm with you. Great point, Carlo. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Tip-off is just about 9 minutes away here at Intuit Dome. Coming up next, we'll get your keys to victory. Clippers and Rockets right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. I'll get prize picks here. You're right. What's that? Prospect. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, Jake, people are asking for a Charger score prediction. The people are asking.
Well, the way it's going right now, it's 3-0 Kansas City, but
It's a game over, huh?
I will say 28-21.
What up? Good to
Los
see you.
Angeles.
Everything good? You work out TV side with those guys? Sorry. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you.
That's all right. 28-21 Chargers. Watch.
You know my Panthers almost won today.
Almost. Ooh.
Almost won today
almost.
against the Eagles, too.
Is there a column for that? Wins, losses, almost wins?
I feel like there should be. Half point, half star. I'm on it. Would never forget. Oh my God, what's that? Clippers and Houston Rockets tipping off just about 5 minutes from now. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown. Let's get your keys to victory, brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code KLAC to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. The Rockets have the best rebounding percentage in the league. Clippers are strong there. They're in the top 10, but the Houston Rockets are a great rebounding team, and they have the size and the athletes to do so. The Clippers have to match them and crash the glass tonight and also take care of the basketball. Without James Harden, this Clippers team has a new test: how to get into their offense, how to get it initiated early in a ball game without James Harden in the starting lineup. You got to take care of the basketball and win that possession battle tonight against Houston. And don't let the Houston Rockets get hot from the outside, by the way. Here we go. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. It's the Clippers and Rockets here at Intuit Dome, and tip-off is coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Sorry, chat. Amir Coffee is out. Right shoulder contusion that just happened during warm-ups. That is a tough blow. We'll talk to you guys post-game. Let's go! Let's go!